Welcome to Escapes with Nigel. I'm Nigel Napier-Andrews, and today we're at DeerFields. This hidden gem is nestled in the hills of the headwaters on the Oak Ridges Moraine. It's a beautiful property, and they've got an age management clinic, a spa, a luxury B&B, and they have gypsy horses. Here we are. I think we'll go in here. This is a really fantastic big room. You call this the great room?
We do, and I thought this would be a perfect place for us to chat, here by the fire where it's warm.
Indeed it is. Andrew, we're going to talk about this fantastic facility, but the most important thing I want to ask is, what came first, the spa, the inn, the B&B, the age management clinic, the stables, the horses, the winery?
That's an excellent question. And rather than giving you a full lineage of all of the discrete parts of the clinic, I just tell you that this place was originally founded to be an executive retreat center. And centered around that was the dining room function, the vineyard function, and that eventually expanded to include the stables. The last piece of the puzzle was the clinic, and that really changed the whole essence of the property. And we view this property as the ideal location to adopt and sustain healthy lifestyle rituals.
Tell me a little bit about the focus of the clinic.
Certainly. The clinic is a prevention-focused, personalized medicine clinic. We practice age management medicine, and that's overseen by our medical director, Dr. Randy Knipping.
Now we've got a very special chef here too, and we're going to talk about food, and we're going to eat some food later.
Yes, absolutely. I'm looking forward to that as well. Our chef's name is Robert Wilson. He's the son of the owner, Jim Wilson. He's undergone extensive culinary training, and he's a master. He really embraces the local, organic philosophy that we have here at the clinic. Most of what we'll be eating today will have been harvested just from within a few miles of here.
People who know me know that I'm a real foodie, and I love to write about food and talk about food, and I love to cook. Do you think he'll let me help him?
I think he will. I asked him. He was on the fence, but we'll see if we can get you in there.
I'll really suck up to him.
That'll probably help.
On our way in, we saw these spectacular horses, and I'm fascinated to hear about those and how you use those.
Well, the horses are part of the property. People are welcome to come and ride the horses, but we also use the horses as part of an equine therapy program as an extension of our clinic protocols. Here we have Prince Hans. He's one of our Gypsy Vanner horses, and we chose this breed to be included at the property because they're bred for particularly having even temperament, and they're quite docile. Right. But we have our stable manager here, Shannon, and I'll let her tell you a little bit more about the horses.
Oh, great. Let's go meet her. Hello, Shannon. How are you?
Good, thank you. How are you?
And what's this guy called?
This is Banner. He is our stallion here at DeerFields Stables.
A stallion?
Yes.
My goodness. Now, I noticed that the last horse we saw had a mustache. This guy doesn't.
Yes, some of them have the mustaches. It's a well-known trait of their breed, but some of them don't. Unfortunately, he's clean-shaven.
Well, he's very pretty anyway. And where does the name Gypsy Vanner come from?
It actually comes from the creators of the breed. So these guys are bred by gypsies in Europe. So they wanted to create a horse that was just as beautiful as their caravan. So Vanner in Romany, which is what the gypsies speak, means suitable to pull a caravan. So gypsy is the people that created it. Vanner means a horse suitable to pull their caravans.
So is that what they were basically used as caravan pulling horses originally?
Yes, yep, that's what they were bred for.
And that would make them very docile and quiet and well behaved.
They are, yes. So the gypsies thought they were part of the family.
Right.
Yes.
But now they're a good riding horse as well?
They are. They're very versatile horses.
I noticed this horse has got wonderful feathers on his fetlocks.
When the gypsies created this horse, they wanted to create something that was beautiful and flashy. So the coloring in the hair is very important. So the more hair they have, so their mane, the forelock, the feathers, tail, the more prestigious they were in the gypsy community.
They're just a spectacular breed. Thank you very much, Shannon. And thank you, Banner. And now, off to the kitchen. Oh, isn't this lovely? Thank you very much, Myrna. Okay, now, to find out what's for lunch. Oh my, isn't that interesting? Now here's my question. What is it and how do I eat it? Our first treat is soft-boiled quail's eggs, served in a jar of food-grade hay, topped with smoked beech tree leaf salt. This is a really interesting dish. I don't think I've ever seen anything served quite like this before. Next is a rainbow trout tartare with cultured cream and Canadian sturgeon caviar. The third dish today is venison tenderloin with shaved black truffles, imported from Unbeer, Italy no less. That looks beautiful. I hardly dare touch it, but needs must. This is just so good. This had a really subtle, unusual flavor that I found absolutely intriguing. This is rolled rabbit leg wrapped in cod fat and dried porcini mushroom salt in a winter cabbage broth. This has a delicate, subtle flavor that I find absolutely intriguing. And the main course is roasted Muscovy duck with woody herbs and a salsify puree. The sauce is caramelized red onion, 10-year-old port, smoked pork hock, and dried mushrooms. And it's accompanied by a wonderful, smooth brunello. After a dining experience like that, I've got to go in the kitchen and meet Chef Robert Wilson. Robert, I have to tell you that that meal was just outstanding, and Chef, you know, congratulations to you on such a spectacular meal. So one of the ingredients was rabbit.
Yes, sir.
And I noticed it didn't have a bone in it, so obviously you deboned a rabbit. And I've never deboned a rabbit. In fact, you know what, I don't think I've ever cooked rabbit. So Robert, apart from the seasoning, which we're going to leave out now, how did this go from here, this lovely piece of meat?
So what we do is we rub it with a little dried mushroom salt. We use porcinis and we blend it into a sea salt. And we season the inside as well as the outside. What we're going to do together is we're going to roll it. Okay. And after we roll it, we let it set up in the fridge for a few days. That keeps it in a nice circular shape, kind of like a tenderloin.
Right. Like that?
There you go. That's what you're looking for.
Okay, doesn't that look smart?
Beautiful.
And now we're going to wrap it.
Wrap that over and make it really tight and kind of squeeze with your hands to keep it tight.
There it is. Then we just chop the ends off when we present it.
Absolutely. It'll look like a nice tenderloin.
Chef Robert Wilson, what a pleasure this has been today.
Nigel.
Thank you so much, and thanks for a brilliant meal. And we just had it was a great adjunct to a wonderful day at DeerFields.
I'm very glad you enjoyed it, and we hope to see you again.
So we're talking with Dr. Randy Knipping, who runs the medical side of DeerFields Clinic. And Dr. Knipping, first of all, may I call you Randy?
Sure.
Randy, tell me what led you into this specialty, I see it as a specialty anyway, of age management.
So I've been in practice for more than 25 years, and I have quite a variety of background experiences. I practiced aerospace medicine, emergency and trauma medicine, and then I became an investigator for the Transportation Safety Board and a forensic investigator for the coroner's office. And this is when I had an epiphany. I realized, after doing over 1,000 death investigations, including homicides, that there's no such thing as natural death. There are only 3 things that'll kill you: disease, trauma, and biology. So if there's no such thing as natural death, that means there's no such thing as natural aging. That's an ideological term. Aging is a biological process, and biology can be measured. And that's when I got interested in age management medicine. Studied in the States with the Synergenics Medical Institute, and now I'm a member of the American College of Anti-Aging and Regenerative and Functional Medicine, which is a specialty in this field, over 92 countries and 20,000 doctors practicing this field.
And what do you do at the clinic here at DeerFields?
What we do here is we do an evaluation of your biological aging process and your health. So just like a traditional doctor, I'll do a history, physical, we'll do testing, looking for underlying disease. In that way, I'm no different than any traditional doctor. Where we're different is we do clinical biology. We measure the biomarkers of aging. How old is your heart, your lungs, your brain, your skin, your immune system, telomeres, your hormones. And once we have a baseline, we can actually introduce therapeutic interventions that actually slow down, stop, and in some cases reverse the biological aging process.
Well, give me an example of, say, one machine that I likely wouldn't have ever seen before that you might use here.
Sure. Well, we know that one of the most common causes of disease and death in Canadians is heart disease. And one of the factors in heart disease that's important is a process called atherosclerosis. This is when the artery wall becomes thickened because of cholesterol, plaque, and so on. Typically, in a family doctor or even a specialist office, we don't measure the amount of atherosclerosis in your body directly, but we have a device which measures the carotid intimal media thickness in your neck, quantifies it, and enables us to find out how much atherosclerosis there is in your body at the outset of your therapeutic interventions. The reason we picked the carotid artery is that it's a convenient sample. It's very difficult to get good ultrasound images deep in the body, so it's a convenient sample. It's also relevant because if you have carotid artery atherosclerosis, it's very likely you'll have atherosclerosis elsewhere in your body, in your kidneys, in your heart, in your peripheral vasculature. So it's a convenient sample, and the technology we use is computerized. It's very accurate. There's very little error from patient to patient and from technician to technician.
What do you think you could do for, let we say, not exactly old, perhaps somebody that might be mature, sort of English gentleman who tends to wander the countryside?
A good-looking, debonair fellow like you.
Oh, you're too kind. But how would you help somebody like that?
I think the first thing is we would start by measuring just exactly where you are at aging. You know, sometimes you can tell just by looking at someone what their health is like. So, for example, we know that your skin aging, which we can objectively measure, is part of what we recognize when we see somebody. But then we would dig quite a bit deeper and find out where you're at. We would also look at your daily and your weekly lifestyle rituals. How are you eating? Are you exercising? How much stress is there in your life? How do you reduce and manage stress? How much do you sleep? And then, of course, on the scientific side, I would be taking a very careful look at biomarkers, your hormone balance, etc. And we would then collaborate together and come up with a strategy that you would then implement over the course of the year. I would see you every 3 months for a follow-up. We would do follow-up testing to make sure that you're making progress. And then we would adjust therapy according to your experience.
Dr. Randy Knipping, thank you so much for having us here today. And may I say that listening to you, I feel better already. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
We've had a healthful day here at DeerFields. For more information, check out their website. And don't forget to visit my website for all sorts of extras about the show. See you next time on Escapes with Nigel.